This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Texas. Where are you on Austin? Oh wait, we got a famous promo here from Sean Mooney, who recently, I think, made the decision to hang up podcasting. He's here with Mr. Perfect. Let's track it.
By his side, his legal corner man.
And what's my name?
The Genius.
Ooh, you're smart.
Now, with names like Perfect and Genius, you gentlemen must have high opinions of your abilities.
And why not? I'm not only the perfect wrestler, I'm a perfect athlete. One who not only plays golf, basketball, billiards, ping pong, chess, and horseshoes. I can play all those sports and more. But more importantly, I play them perfectly.
But how does all this relate to your match with Hulk Hogan?
Elementary, my learned friend.
You see, Hogan, since you lost the title at WrestleMania, you've lost your confidence, lost your ambition, and lost your courage. And most importantly, you've lost all your Hulkamaniacs. But don't worry, Hulk Hogan, because tonight, you'll show the whole world your only perfect quality. You'll be a perfect loser.
What a promo from Mr. Perfect. And his perfect streak just came to an end thanks to a rat soup eating motherfucker named Bruce Prichard, who decided to let Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake end it at WrestleMania 6. Bruce, who booked this shit? Why in the world would you let Mr. Perfect fall to Brutus before Hulk Hogan got to chew him up?
Reality based.
Oh, I'm going to fucking hang this deal up. I'm not putting up with this.
Well, I'm mixing myself some Padron here, and it's reality. When you look at Mr. Perfect and then you look at the Barber, good God, weird.
We should mention, you sort of touched on it a little bit. Maybe Mr. Perfect and Hulk Hogan could have been a program that lasted a little longer, but they even went to Madison Square Garden with a soft house with this. And we covered that in our Mr. Perfect episode. It's remarkable to me that we all look back at Mr. Perfect and say, God damn, how great was he? One of the best. I mean, this is the way I remember him. I mean, this singlet and that baby blue one, and he's in the best condition of his life. And he's just, I don't know, the character, it's perfect for me, pardon the pun. And I would assume, man, with his arrogant heelish aspect and his almost cartoon-like selling for Hulk, this should have been a no-brainer, but for whatever reason, it didn't do big business around the horn. And fuck at that, in this era, you could even put Brother Love against Hulk Hogan and it would sell out, but for some reason it didn't.
I didn't even sell out the Tokyo Dome.
Well, I mean, seriously, you were featured with him in the Garden and it sold out. But when they do it with Mr. Perfect, it doesn't. And that just, I don't know. It doesn't matter. And I'm not disparaging how over Brother Love was. I'm just saying, even you would agree, God damn, this is going to be a good match.
Oh, absolutely. And Kurt is one of my favorite performers to watch because he just was so damn good.
Yeah.
And you see it here, it's the perfect foil. Kurt's the right size and he is a bump taking machine. So you kind of look back and look at everything that Mr. Perfect did just with such fondness because his timing was impeccable. And this is also a good time because you had the Genius there who was great fodder. And Jesus. And Kurt, the bump outside. Holy cow. Good shit.
This is, maybe some of my peak fandom. We often talk about how 89 was my favorite year besides 97, but as we cruise into 90, I'm at my all-time height of my fandom as a kid. I think when this aired, I would be 8. I'd turn 9 in a couple of months. This is as good as it gets. Who was your favorite wrestler when you were 8 years old?
You really have to ask that question.
I assume it was Dory fucking Funk.
Goddamn right.
I just can't
Wahoo
imagine.
McDaniel.
I can't imagine being that excited as a kid about Dory Funk. I had Hulk Hogan. You had Dory Funk.
And Wahoo McDaniel.
Okay. Well, I had an Indian that I loved. His name was Ultimate Warrior. No joke, no comment, nothing. The torch is archived for this. particular episode. And Wade would write, the WWF returned to NBC with another Saturday night's main event on April 28th. And he wrote, eliminating from Texas. McMahon and Ventura introduced the show while sitting horses in the crowd. The first match saw Hulk Hogan pin Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig in a match that earned 2.5 stars, all for Hennig. Hogan did not do anything wrong, but was not spectacular either. But, you know, listen, at this point,
he's Hulk fucking Hogan.
That's what I was going to say. At this point, his mere presence is what people are here for. And that perhaps is never more evident than in this show, where we're trying to quote unquote make the Ultimate Warrior. And that promo that we heard from Hulk Hogan a few minutes ago with Mean Gene, that's really the first time the masses have heard from Hulk since he lost the world title to the Ultimate Warrior. But what's historically been in this first spot on Saturday night's main event is really your quote unquote main event. That's your best spot. This is right after the news. This is before it gets too late, right?
Absolutely. You know, late night TV, you start with your hottest. Primetime television, you end with your hottest.
Do you think, on some level, the Warrior title run wasn't as successful as perhaps the Savage one was, because on the heels of WrestleMania 4, Hogan disappeared for a little while and let Savage sort of rule the roost. Meanwhile, here, just 1 month later, and on the big primetime special, Hogan's in his normal spot. Warrior's still got to fend for himself.
Well, I think that look, Warrior, make no mistake about it, Warrior did have a good run. Was it, even at this time, you know, you hear the stories about, would you rather be on
Hogan's tour or Warrior's tour?
Yeah. You know, Hogan was the main guy. So for business, it's just that Hogan didn't need the championship.
Well, I'm with you on that.
It was an opportunity to boost Warrior.
But did it neuter a little bit? Because at this point, and I know that you're going to laugh at this, but Hulk Hogan's bigger than the belt. I mean, you know, you could put, the world title's on the card, or you could just put Hulk Hogan's here. Fuck, they're not coming to see the belt. They're coming to see Hulk Hogan.
Every time. Every single time.
That's my point though, is if Hogan had another terrible movie to go make, would Warrior have had a more successful run, do you think?
I don't know. I think that in a way that Warrior and Hulk was gone a little bit, but at the same time, I think Warrior kind of needed that blessing of Hulk and needed to rub up to Hulk to make him
to sell into the crowd.
Just rise up, I guess. I'm having a hard time explaining it, but Warrior needed Hulk.
A stamp of approval, if you will.
Yes.
From the eyes of the fans. We should mention, Wade would report WrestleMania pay-per-view numbers have been reported at 3.8% buy rate, which is 495,000 homes, or a $15 million gross. This is a disappointing figure that's been attributed to both the high $30 price and the face-face matchup. One reason not mentioned yet is that even if the main event was only marginally strong, there was no undercard enticement to convince the borderline buyers it was worth the money. The first Warrior Hogan rematch may be at SummerSlam, as the $30 projected price tag would indicate. Obviously, the results of that match will depend on Warrior's success in drawing crowds as champion. So far, it has not been great. Now, obviously, we know that you guys wound up doing a different SummerSlam. You're going to do the Earthquake Crush thing on Hulk Hogan, and he's going to come back, and that'll be the SummerSlam match for him. And Ravishing Rick Rude will reinvent himself and get a world title shot in a steel cage against the Ultimate Warrior at SummerSlam 90. Was it ever considered doing a rematch for these two? Okay.
Never, because Vince, you know, first of all, Vince wasn't really crazy about the babyface match.
Sure.
And I think with the buy rate and everything else, there was no way you were going to talk him into doing it with that attraction again.
Clean in the middle, baby. Big boot. Leg drop, 1, 2, 3. There it is. And here comes the genius getting a little comeuppance for him.
Win them in the middle, lose them in the middle.
How would you describe Lanny's haircut here?
Glorious.
Seriously. It
Absolutely
is something else.
What's wrong with this haircut? It's a beautiful haircut.
Well, it's like Happy Days.
Happy Days.
It's a throwback haircut, buddy. It's a lot of hair. It looks like he's on the set of Designing Women.
That was the thing then. That was nice hair.
No, I know it was. My mom had that haircut in 1990.
Your mom still has that haircut.
No, she's got the short Jamie Lee Curtis gimmick now.
The kind of bob gimmick.
There he is, pointing up to the heavens and then wrapping the belt around his waist symbolically, and we see this famous crowd shot coming down the stairs. Who deserves the credit for that? Y'all did it a lot over the years.
Well, actually, we did. The reason that you got it here was because it was a Saturday night's main event and we had a Steadicam. So when we had the Steadicam and we were able to have a good Steadicam operator to come down, you would get that kind of moving shots. We didn't have that every week. And nor did we even have it on every pay-per-view.
But occasionally you'd break it out on a pay-per-view and it always stood out. By the way, let's do a little throwback something to wrestle here. What exactly is happening in the ring right now?
The Hulkster's posing. You know why?
Because
Hulk must pose.
There we go. One of our more famous early something to wrestle sayings. But this was a formula. And listen, I know now we look back and we say, boy, how silly is this? But this is really what fans wanted to see. They wanted to see Hulk Hogan do this. They wanted to see Michael Jordan stick his tongue out. I mean, there were certain little things.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.